Well, it seems that I've been magically beamed down to this little message, so let's get right to it. Hey everybody, it's Travis. I have a quick message for anybody watching this. And we're taking a little bit of a break between the construction of the index knuckles as I'm cutting this all together for you. I wanted to bring something up that is kind of important considering the state of affairs with glove sales. Not mine, per se, but other people's. As I'm cutting together this documentary and putting to digital celluloid my expertise and my assist and my documentation of this hobby, there's a lot going on out there in the World Wide Web. Specifically, and this is nothing new, this happens all the time, and I don't have a problem with it. I made a lot of gloves over, decades. And in one shape, form, or another, I've sold them since I was about 19. On a very, very small scale, sporadically, periodically, here and there, from when I was kind of a shit glove maker, but the first one to the glove maker that I am now, or at least in recent history, going back a few years. So I haven't sold anything since 2005, so it's been a while. But there are gloves out there, and there are also DESAs out there now on the market. I've seen them. And not the post-Becker clone DESAs, but the first round of DESAs I did, which are subtly different than the final ones I'm doing now, and this documentary will explain more of that at some point. But they're still really good gloves, and I'm still really proud of them. Now, that having been said, a problem that I've had, where I do have a problem with collectors who have my gloves trade hands here and there, periodically. I catch wind of it when I do have the inclination to go online and see what's going on and poke around a bit. Specifically, while there's private auction and everything else on eBay, you'll see you'll see a KRUEGEAR glove pop up, whether it's circa the early 2000s or even going way back to when I was a kid or what have you. And that's fine. You guys do what you want. And even with the DESAs, do what you want. They're your gloves. I don't care. And the DESAs were old client orders I made no money off of, recently, that I was just getting to, client hands who had ordered them. And, again, that's fine. I don't put a lot of stock in the hobby as much as I used to because, it's never been my thing to kind of, trade up and get my next fix on a glove. My dream has always been, pardon the pun, to own a glove. That was my intent when I started this whole thing for myself, to own the glove that I saw on screen. But a lot of people, their thing is to like trade up and exchange and get the next thing or collect them all, all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. Where I kind of have a problem with is, and I do this periodically, I have to shut down auctions or contact the seller on an auction when they're listing a glove on eBay or wherever as a KRUEGEAR glove made by Travis Calsill, when clearly it's not. At least I can tell it's not. And I always try to give the benefit of the doubt because these things do change hands so much. It could be some kid that doesn't know what he has, or it could be something more nefarious. I never take the stance of, I'm going to shut you down and blah, 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 blah. I make a nice inquiry. If I can't get an answer, then I contact eBay and say, look, this guy may or may not, just what I told you, may or may not know what he has. It's not one of my pieces. I'd like them to redact the ad. Don't shut him down, but please redo the text and take my name and KRUEGEAR's off of it, if it is in fact not one of my gloves. So that happens quite a bit, and it's actually happened quite recently. Every couple months I'll have to do that. Just to keep the integrity of, for what little integrity it has, the KRUEGEAR brand and my name stamped on something. So, but it has been a bit of a problem. And the other problem that I've noticed is, I'm not going to name names, and I'm not going to say these are absolute fact accusations of any sort, but I've seen a couple of gloves I'm not going to say if they're DESAs or anything else, but I've seen a couple of gloves on eBay that I have made that are on the block that have been altered pretty significantly. You know, I've seen gloves that I know every inch of, and if you watch this documentary, you'll know what I mean by that. I know every inch and nook and cranny of these things that I've built. I've seen, and I'll look at it, and the backplate has been totally tweaked and reshaped, and fingers have been like pulled out and stretched, and it still has my signature on the bottom of the glove. So that's a bit of a problem, because you know, discussion starts to happen, and the buzz starts. Well, what's the deal with Travis's gloves? And you know, because people do pay attention to this sort of thing, anybody's gloves. So I wanted to let you guys know that there are some gloves out there that have been mucked with, and I had no part in it. You see the meticulous lengths that I go to send these out, but it is a problem. So what I'm going to do on that note is the following. From this point on, and you guys might not see these for a while because I have literally hundreds of hours of footage to go through as I'm doing this process and winding down my last orders. I think I have like seven or eight gloves left, and I'm done at this point. I'm going to take detailed video from this point on of any glove that I make, and that includes the 4 or 5 gloves I have on the floor right now that I'm working to completion on. So when those go out, I'm going to take like a video stamp of it. I'm going to show all the angles. I'm going to show from, you know, every single little point and close-ups. I'm going to do a sweep around, probably like a 1-minute or 2-minute video of each glove. And I may put the client name on it, I may not. We'll see how privacy prevails on that and how my clients feel about that, my outstanding guys. Just so it's, and you'll have the number. You'll have the physical number of the glove, so if it ever pops up on eBay, I will make that available on my YouTube channel, and if anybody needs to contact me and they see a sale and it's a DESA or any of my gloves, you know, I don't answer email. I get a lot of email, both good and bad. It's just too much drama. I just get my guys their gloves, and I kind of, you know, every now and then I'll poke around online and see what's being talked about, but I really stay out of the fray. I'm not in the community anymore. I'm not on Facebook anymore. I just don't do it. It's just too much hassle. But in this case, if it is a glove sale that's coming up, and you know, and I'm still in good standing with my outstanding guys, and I'm getting my orders out and I'm not getting harassed, then put in your header eBay glove sale question or confirmation, something like that, and I'll take a look at it. And if you know, if it's at a point where it doesn't have a video and they're claiming it's my glove or whatever, I'll take a look at it. I'll let you know definitively if it's mine. And for any DESAs, specifically, I'm going to call this the DESA 2.0. Any glove made from this mother glove going forward, I will go ahead then and take a look at that. And if I have video, I'll send you the video. You can make your own assessment as it stands. So, with that being said, this is Travis, and message ends. Continuation of the documentary begins, which means I have to make a quick and hastened exit. So, on that note, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you in just a second. Mrs. Falk, beam me up.